Hey guys, Hellhound here. I just saw Suicide Squad. Like I said, I was going to in my video I did earlier today. Well, what did I think of it? Did I like it? Did I hate it? Honestly, it was all right. It was okay. My expectations weren't all that high. Which is probably a good thing. Because I wasn't. But I wasn't really disappointed. I wasn't really let down, but I wasn't like all that thrilled about it either. It was all right. Um, where do I begin? These are just my first impressions, fresh out of the theater. Just saw it like 10 minutes ago. I just got home. Um, well, let's talk about the positives first. The positives. Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn was definitely really good. I think she was well cast. She seemed like her cartoon and comic book counterpart. I think she played it really well. She was a good choice. She kind of slipped in and out of the accent a lot, but it was enough. She played the psychotic, but at the same time kind of ditzy, kind of airheaded. But she'll bite your ear off if you cross her. She played that pretty well. They even touched upon her origin story, how she was, a psychiatrist, Dr. Harleen Quinzel, who went to see the Joker in Arkham. So that was accurate. That was done well. I'm glad they were faithful to her origin story. Yeah, she was done really well. I was pleased with the way they did Harley Quinn. I was really excited to finally see her live action debut. That was pretty much the highlight of the movie for me, and why I was probably the main reason I was excited to see it. Also, I think you guys already know Batman was in the movie briefly. He had a few scenes, and he was just awesome. Ben Affleck is a great Batman, and it just got me wanting to see a Batman movie starring Ben Affleck so much more. Like, I'm just dying to see, Ben Affleck solo Batman flick so much more now. He's even in talks to direct it as well when it finally does come, so that's going to be excellent. There's some more. This followed Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, and there's some references to that in Man of Steel. They talked about Superman and how he was killed, but I thought I was gonna hate Will Smith as Deadshot, but he came out of it okay. I found myself rooting for his character towards the end. I did see just Will Smith. He kind of played Will Smith again, like he always does. I kind of at first I was like, just put the damn Deadshot mask on, shit. But he played the character pretty well. Floyd Lawton, he did a pretty good job. But and I can't stand his wife though. Oh my god, she ruins Gotham for me. But I did like her Nutty Professor, so I don't know. But I was rooting for Deadshot to get to see his daughter more and all that. It's always kind of a touching story, but I think it was done a lot better in Batman Assault on Arkham, the animated movie. That was a better representation of what the Suicide Squad from the comics would be like, what should be like. Assault on Arkham was way better than this movie, I have to say. I'd give this movie about probably a 7 out of 10, maybe even a 6.5 out of 10. I wasn't really all that impressed with it. But anyway, back to the positives. Waylon Jones as Killer Croc makes his live action debut. The guy who played him was pretty scary. He had some funny lines. I knew he was just kind of going to be the muscle of the group. He was just a brute, a beast. He didn't really have all that much to do. But I'm glad they didn't really make it clear in his origin. Sometimes he is a mutant crocodile. Sometimes he's just a normal human with a skin condition. He's just deformed. And this one it was a combination of both. He didn't really delve into it too deep. And so, he did live in the sewers. He was an excellent swimmer. But yeah, it was cool seeing Killer Croc. One of my other, one of the great Batman villains, I guess. But and I like Captain Boomerang. Jay Courtney did a pretty good job playing him. A lot of people hate on Jay Courtney, think he's a bad actor. I don't mind him. I thought he made a pretty good Kyle Reese in Terminator Genesis. Nowhere near Michael Biehn, of course, but I like Jay Courtney. I think he did a good job as Captain Boomerang. He had the Australian accent down, his boomerang skills. He was pretty good. El Diablo, the guy who could generate fire, he had kind of a tortured past, and he was kind of a complex character. He didn't really want to use his powers, but when he did, he kicked ass. He was probably the most powerful one in the group, And I think he was really the only one who actually has, superpowers. They're constantly referred to as metahumans, but I think really he was the only one who was. But, I digress. Yeah, he was done well. I don't know about all the tattoos. It's a little overdone. And I'll get more on tattoos here in a little bit. But yeah, I'm glad they stayed true to Harley Quinn's origin story. Margot Robbie did a great job. Yeah, I love the scenes of Batman, how brief they were. Let's see, who else? There was also Slipknot. He didn't last very long. Katana. I didn't know who the villain was going to be. Like, I didn't know who the boot. I don't know if they kept a lid on that and like they didn't show it much in the trailers, or if I didn't really pay attention to the marketing. This movie was really overhyped, and I didn't really know who the antagonist was going to be. So the Enchantress and her brother, that whole thing was kind of a surprise to me. I didn't really know what was going on with that. And I thought that was done, pretty well, I guess. And then the guy was, Flag or whatever, was, in love with her. And the chick who played Amanda Waller was good. She was previously played by Angela Bassett in the Green Lantern movie. I thought she was, pretty faithful to her comic book counterpart, And they did, she was done well on Assault on Arkham as well. She was a little too mean on that one, though. Here she was a little more, she was likable at some points, but you could tell she really, just wanted to get the job done, and well, I was saving this for last, but I thought there was going to be more to talk about, but I can't think of anything right now. I'm a little tired. The Joker. Jared Leto plays the Joker in this movie. He wasn't in it all that much. It's the third actor to play him in a live-action movie. I'm not counting Cesar Romero from the 60s Adam West series and movie adaptation. I knew I was going to hate the look. I knew I was going to hate the tattoos and the metal grill and the fact that he was more like a street thug, and even some moments where he was like a mob boss, like the Godfather. He had people kissing his hand and stuff. I was like, is this the Joker? I thought Jared Leto was a great choice. He has the potential to be a really great Joker, who should be faithful to the comics. The tattoos were a terrible idea. Director David Ayer wanted him to look more like a modern, criminal. And I don't know. I didn't like it. I didn't like how he didn't have any eyebrows. I didn't like how he wasn't really chalk white. He was just really pale. They kind of hinted at his origin, though, where he fell into the vat of chemicals. Him and Harley were there at the Ace Chemical plant, and they dove into a vat together and kind of made out. I don't really know what that was supposed to be. I don't know, but yeah, they were loyal to, faithful to her origin. I like how their romance scenes together were cool. It's kind of cool how they're so crazy and so deranged that they're so in love. And he treated her pretty good in this one. He was kind of abusive, like in the cartoon and the comics. It was cool, I guess. Yeah, he wasn't really in it much. I think Jared Leto has the potential to be a great Joker. It didn't mesh with me very well here, but I think once we see a Batman solo movie and kind of see more of him, and he has kind of more to do, more to work with, it'd be better. I thought he was going to play like a Hannibal type of role here, like he was going to be in Arkham, like in the cell, and like they were going to interview him for some reason or another. But I thought he was done way better in Assault on Arkham. They should have had him playing like a similar role to that. I'm going to try not to compare this to Assault on Arkham too much, but it was loads better. I don't know. DC's doing really good with their animated movies, with their cartoons. As I said, The Killing Joke, which I bought and watched yesterday. Seeing that right before this movie didn't help. The fact that I want a live-action Joker to be really close to the comic. I want a faithful adaptation of the Joker. I want to see a live-action version of the comic book Joker. And, obviously The Killing Joke delivered that, obviously, because it's like the graphic novel. And that's what I really wanted to see. And after seeing 3 Jokers, Jack Nicholson's still the closest, but he was a little bit off, too. Are we ever going to see him use laughing gas again? I mean, seriously, leaving somebody grinning, maniacally from ear to ear, and doing it until they're dead is pretty creepy, and I think a pretty cool trait of a villain. He did that in his first appearance. He's done it, all these years, but are they ever going to have that in a movie again? Yeah, Heath Ledger just carved a smile on their face. I guess that was close, but this Joker didn't really do that. He acted like the Godfather, and he acted like some mob boss, and how these people working for him, and it seemed like he owned clubs, and I don't even know. I wasn't really sure what the objective was of the villains, the Enchantress and her brother. A lot of special effects, and lots of flashy lights and stuff. All that stuff doesn't really do much for me. I'm not big on it. I guess they're trying to take over the world or whatever. I don't know. But I'm looking forward to the Justice League movie. But yeah, Jared Leto could be a great Joker. And, he was okay. I didn't really think that it was possible for somebody playing the Joker to overact, but he did it. He really chewed on the scenery. And, I don't know, he laughed a lot, I guess, which was good. I like the evil, psychotic laughter, but it seemed like it seemed a little off. It wasn't the Joker to me. It wasn't enough like the Joker. He's my favorite villain of all time. One of my favorite characters, and I really like to see him done justice. And yeah, this movie didn't really give me that as much as I really wanted it. Yeah, as I said, I wish they'd at least had a flashback to where Batman knocked his teeth out and give him a reason for the metal teeth, the grill. I just don't see the point in that. The tattoos, yeah, they sucked. He didn't wear purple enough either. He always had a bunch of bling bling and stuff. It just didn't feel right. I hated the hip hop culture, the hip hop vibe this movie had. People talking gangsta and all that shit. The Joker was like a gangster too. I didn't like that. I didn't care for that at all. And yeah, Will Smith, what really wasn't right for Deadshot, but I did end up kind of liking him anyway. So that wasn't. I won't say that that's really a con. But I will say this movie had kind of a more flashy, explosive MTV vibe about it. It had a really good soundtrack, and it was always playing, some kind of famous song. Every once in a while. It actually even played "Paranoid" by Black Sabbath and "White Stripes," "House of the Rising Sun." That's a good song. There's always playing a song. It was so different from Batman versus Superman. That movie was really dark and really serious. Very joyless, very humorless. This one, I heard they actually revamped it. They really re-edited it a little bit to be more lighthearted and humorous. And it definitely shows. I also feel like this movie would have benefited a lot from an R rating. It did push the PG-13 a lot. It was definitely a hard PG-13. But I think it would have done better as an R. I mean, Batman vs. Superman, we got the DVD Blu-ray release, which I bought. They gave it that version an R rating. Maybe they'll do the same with Suicide Squad. Maybe it'll make me appreciate the movie a little more. I don't know. I think it would have definitely done better if it was rated R. Margot Robbie is pretty much every nerd's fantasy, growing up. I think every comic reader and people who were socially awkward in school always fantasized about her and Harley Quinn, the character. And Margot Robbie definitely was very sexy and seductive, but just so crazy at the same time. I'm really glad her and Deadshot didn't have a romance between them either. It seemed like the movie was going to go in that direction a few times, but I like it better when she's loyal to Mr. J, and Puddin', it's just better that way. It's so crazy how she just started out as a female henchman of the Joker, and she's become such an important character, after all these years. It's just, and I'm really glad we got to finally see her in a movie. And she did a great job. She was probably the highlight of the movie for me. And, Will Smith was good as Deadshot. Wouldn't be my first choice by any means. But he got the job done. Jay Courtney was good as Captain Boomerang. The villains were good. The Enchantress, all the special effects and stuff was a little too much. The chick who played Amanda Waller was good. It was solid. The storyline was decent. I won't compare it to Assault on Arkham, which I thought had a way better storyline and setup, but their objective and stuff. It was pretty cool seeing them all together, seeing a bunch of villains, interact and decide what to do and eventually save the day. It was interesting. I read the Suicide Squad comics growing up, and I was never a huge fan, but I always did think it'd be cool to see in a movie, and I guess this movie pretty much delivered just what I'd expect, though I did think it could have been better. It's probably my least favorite comic book movie so far of 2016. I love Deadpool. Batman vs. Superman was done well despite a lot of flaws. I still liked it. I'm still one of the people who give it a thumbs up. Civil War was excellent. That was the best one so far. Apocalypse was also really good. This one, as I said, I give it a 7 out of 10. It was okay. Could have been a lot better. Easily my least favorite so far. Maybe I'll have to watch it again when it comes out on DVD. Maybe reevaluate my opinion. This is just, it's still fresh in my mind, and just my first impressions. I just saw it, just got out of the theater. But yeah, there's some nods, there's some references to the DC universe, as I said, some more setups to the Justice League. The Flash had a brief cameo as well. Sorry if I spoiled that for you. It was really early on, and you probably already knew that they were going to, have more references to that. And it was pretty cool. You saw him capturing Captain Boomerang, and oh gosh, just for such minimal screen time, Ben Affleck just stole the show. I just got to say it again. I got to stress it again. He does such a good job as Bruce Wayne and / Batman, and it was just a treat seeing him and just making me that much more pumped for seeing more of him in Justice League and future Batman movies. But yeah, I think the DC universe is a little too sloppy right now. Like they have Man of Steel, and Batman versus Superman, which are both really dark and gritty and kind of serious and kind of like a realistic take on if these things could actually happen, how they would really realistically, how they would go down. And then this one was kind of like an MTV style, really flashy, kind of hip hop influenced, which I didn't care for, gangsta movie that didn't really feel like a comic book movie. That just, I don't know, just off to such a weird start. And Marvel's just killing it. They're doing such a great job with their universe. The DC Cinematic Universe, or Extended Universe as they're calling it for some reason, if they want to keep up, they really need to work a little harder, I think, because it's a little too polarizing. Either people love it or hate it. I'm kind of in the middle. I think they've done some things really well and some things really crappy. With Marvel, they've pretty much done everything right, except for a few things like the Mandarin. But I know that they have potential. I know that they can really make a good movie. David Ayer may not have been a great choice for directing a Suicide Squad film, but he did great with some things. There's some things I liked, some things I really didn't like. But anyway, that's my first impressions. I'll give this movie a fair review someday, probably after the DVD comes out, and I can rewatch it. Hopefully they'll do what they did with Batman vs. Superman, have like an extended cut. Maybe some alternate footage would do it some good. And I think an R rating would help a lot too. But yeah, Margot Robbie is great. Jared Leto has the potential to be a great Joker, but it didn't... I wasn't really sold on it so much. And I was really excited to see the Joker in another movie. It wasn't that long after we saw Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight. It's pretty cool how, we're seeing the Joker yet again. Because we waited a long time in between Batman from 1989 until, The Dark Knight. I'd love to see, as much of the Joker as possible. As I say, he's my favorite villain, one of my favorite characters. And Jared Leto could be great. He really could, but they just need a little better direction and a new look. Please just ditch the tattoos and the next. I don't even care if they don't explain it. Ditch the tattoos, ditch the crappy street thug, gangsta, Godfather vibe, and just read some comics. I want to see a proper Joker. Alright guys, well I'm Hellhound. Thanks for watching my show. Go see Suicide Squad. I would recommend it despite its flaws. It wasn't too bad. I enjoyed a lot of it. As I said, I had a great soundtrack. It was definitely entertaining. Definitely action-packed. Mostly great cast, great acting, great cinematography. I think it's a worthy addition to the DC universe. I just think that they need to try a little harder and make it a little more clear and coherent. Alright guys, I'm Hellhound. Thanks for watching. Until next time.